Hey everyone, welcome back to another Market Open live stream. Let's see what's going on the Market Open, which begins in about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Take a look at this. We've got a lot, first of all, a lot of green folks. Posted a video about 3 hours ago, sort of updating transition in the market, an update from Goldman. What we really want to see here is how strong is that transition going to be in the open. We want to see, is this just the pre-market fugazi that sometimes we can see, and then we're going to see some big red candlesticks, or is this going to sustain? We're going to see a rally here into the open. Gamestop is down about 8% on news of a potentially very expensive share offering, up to $1 billion share offering. Many shares. We've got Naked, USO, Gilead down fractionally. We do, if I go to recently view here, we do have CTRM down about 23%, also on news of a direct offering of shares. Let's see here if we can see $125 million direct offering of shares was the amount. But otherwise, the rest of the market is just killing it today. Let's take a look at some of the suspects here. We've got Invitae's up about 10%. It was up 2% on Thursday, since we did have a short weekend last week. Longer weekend. Look at this ChargePoint. My goodness, ChargePoint was up 11.7% last week. It's up another 9% today. My gosh, these were the stocks that were so heavily selling off day after day after day, as of even last Monday. AMC was actually down on Thursday. It was down about 2 to 3% in pre-market this morning, and here we go. It is now up 7.3%. Tesla actually must be, Tesla's red candles the open. Tesla was solidly over $710 a share. It is currently up about 7%, right at around 707. We've got Norwegian Cruise Lines as well that's open hot. Now this is interesting. So we've really got electric vehicle stocks that are hot. We've got Travels up here too. Yeah, look, Carnival's up here at 3.5%. Norwegian at almost 6%. Hyliion's up. Purple's up. Arcimoto's up. Everything's up. It's just this is just going to be one of those everything opens where all of a sudden everything is open much better. We've got a nice strong green candlestick coming here at Lucid, 3.41%. In the pre-market, we were up 2.5% on Thursday for the day. Fisker's coming up with about double the gains that we saw on Thursday, coming up about 3% here in the pre-market. American Airlines at the same time is up. Shift Technologies is up. MP Material is up. Really, everything is up. The only things down, the things that are down marginally. I mean, 0.4% here in the pre-market on Redfin. That's nothing to be worried about. Here now being down for about 10% on GameStop. Not a surprise with the kind of share offering. But then again, we thought we would see similar price action again at AMC because of a potential share offering getting voted on. But no. Now AMC is up, now it's up over 8% now, and it's rallying into the open. We've got a minute to go here. Wow, this is incredible. Roblox up to up over 70, really not moving much off its IPO pricing, and multiple other stocks up between 1 to 2%. So nice, modest open, but also very, very green. Nothing too euphoric, although we do have some stocks that are flying. Let's go listen see what CNBC has to say as we there we go, as we get to our opening bell in the next 19 seconds. Let's go.
They want to be able to build foundries here. Foundries take 2 years to build from scratch, and there are back orders for all the equipment. Lam Research is probably doing more than almost anyone, and you can't get a Lam Research machine to be able to make semis. The back orders are ridiculous. So yeah, David, this is a very key moment for the semiconductor industry and also for American industry. And it's not just cars. That's the point.
Let's get that to adjust and show full here. Come on.
So look out. This is some big squeeze that's going to last.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. That's what These are the kind of days we need after 6 weeks of what we had.
At the bottom of your screen, 47, I think will be an all-time high to get out the gate, as we expected. Same story for the Dow. Jim, you know, in terms of prices, you've been talking about chips. We all have for a while. I know last week, Kimberly-Clark, big price hike in North America. Evercore says Cat is ready to raise prices for the first time in 5 years. And some of the ISM respondents last week talked about either having to pay more to draw talent or pay more to retain talent. And I wonder if you think that has big inflationary tells for us.
Well, the one thing that I think that JPAL has in terms of...
And we do also have new data coming out in about 30 minutes. Durable good orders coming out in 30 minutes. Cars could weigh down on that again, though if it doesn't, that could be really good news. And then we do have another catalyst, the monthly manufacturer shipments, inventories, and orders coming out in the next 29 minutes now. So let's go see how things are opening up out of the gate. Not as strong maybe as we had hoped. Invitae down from that about 10% to just being up 8%. Tesla's also, Tesla's red candle sticking out of the gate here. And ChargePoint's red candle sticking as well. A lot of red candlesticks coming out of the gate. We'll see how the first few minutes settle here. But this is like the firing line over here where the Marines are entering. We've got Carnival, but unfortunately, we've got a firing line here, and we're fighting. We got Arcimoto up 3.51%. We've got Hyliion up 3.4%. Steel Dynamics, Palantir 3%. It's like storming the beaches here. We got a mix. Okay, here we go. Green here on Steel Dynamics. This, by the way, Steel Dynamics rumored to be the steel supplier for the Cybertruck facility for Tesla. NGA up 3%, trying to get back to that $20 a share. Property Solutions SPAC. This is Faraday Solutions. I always think it's funny, though, the acronym they have for the SPAC right now. They're at 2.9%. Let's see here. We've got Microvision. Microvision's up 2.9%. Did have a couple days of sell-off last week, which was not so exciting after that Microsoft partnership for some headsets. But then thoughts of, what if they're not actually going to include the Microvision LiDAR? Are they not? We still don't have the exact answer, but Microvision's still up from where it was last week, as the start of last week, that's for sure. Microvision, okay, we've definitely got more red here now. Yeah, look at this. So, this is kind of like the firing line here. We've got a battle happening here. Norwegian and ChargePoint trying to pull ahead. AMC's struggling. Let's see here. Now we've got Tesla kind of pushing. Nope. Tesla's struggling as well. But take a look at this over here. Look at this, what we've got. We've got GameStop down 11%. So also losing it a little bit here at the intro. Now we've got ZOM down almost 4%. There we go. It's bobbing around 4% on ZOM. Cost, Sundial, Express, all of the almost all of the momentum trades, with the exception of AMC, down all of a sudden here on the open. Lemonade and Peloton were both green into the open. Both of them have turned red. It seems like every moment that goes by, more and more stocks are turning red here, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. We are definitely seeing a little bit of a slip here on the open. It's a little bit of a rough open there. Yeah, we're almost back under 700 for Tesla. Tesla's about to slip back to 699. AMC also struggling on the open. ChargePoints, everything is struggling on the open. Norwegian's taking the lead right now. That is a surprise. Just blew out of the water in Invitae and Tesla. ChargePoint, these guys were running, just absolutely crushing it in the pre-market. But now Norwegian is taking over, up 7%. Woo! All right, what else we have? Roblox under 70 again. Golly, Delta, Pinterest, these guys still up 2%. Penn National Gaming 1.7%. Churchill's also, Churchill was doing better. It was nicely over 2.5%. Now it's only up 1.5%. So we definitely a little bit of a rough opening there compared to what we had in the pre-market. Pre-market was a lot more excited here. GameStop down 11% now. ZOM is down 5.5% to 6%. Naked, Gevo, Peloton, Wayfair, Open Door, Enphase. Lots of red actually coming through here. We got a good amount of red coming through some of the shares here. It looks like we're sort of stair climbing straight down right now, at least on some shares. That's Nano Dimensions doing that as well. Tesla's trying to turn green again here. First green candlestick. We'll see what happens. That was a pretty record open, but boy, oh boy, we gave some of that up real fast on that firing line. Let's listen to what CNBC has to say.
Imagination of the same investor base don't quite seem to be there anymore. We're also starting to see companies that went public through SPACs that have de-SPACed, so to speak, report numbers that perhaps are not being met as well as they might want otherwise to be. You mentioned Romeo Power, for example. So we take a look at the bottom there, trading at 8:30. Remember where they do the deals at 10. So that
Churchill, David Churchill 4, right?
Churchill 4, CCIV,
on the beaches
love it. Yes,
and the
sand.
Yeah, I mean, it went up there 50s. People bought that, and that didn't.
Although it's still trading, again, I always say if it was a $10 stock moving to wherever in the 24, you'd be like very happy with it. It still performed very well. It's just that it happened to hit almost 60 on the way to 24.
Well, look, QuantumScape,
Jim,
it down 40%, but
it does get me though. It is. And it's still a large company from a market cap perspective with a lot to come. We hear from him all the time in terms of the advances that need to be made, that they are making at QuantumScape in terms of that solid state battery and where that's going to end up. Let's not forget.
Yeah, Quantum's a little ahead of its time here with the public offering, in my opinion, but we'll see. All right, so gosh, okay. Let's take a quick peek here at yields. Let's see how we're opening on yields. So yields on the 10-year actually slipped a little bit. 1.71, 1.72% on the 10. The 5's at about 0.96. We look at top news. Let's see what top news is here just within the last minutes here. Tesla's jaw-dropper delivery numbers, supercharged EV stocks, great. All right, let's see. Palm Beach super mansions are swooped up. Guess they want to hang out with Donald. All right, stocks climb amid economic optimism. Well, we are seeing a little bit of red candlesticks there. Yellen to urge global minimum company tax to stop venue hopping. Can't go shopping for cheaper tax rates that way. All right. Okay, so I don't particularly see like a heavy piece of news or something that suggests that the market should have moved down that 2 or 3% that we saw there right out of the gate. It must have really just been a moment of potentially some profit taking, potentially some margin rebalancing. I mean, think about it. If you're heavy on margin and you get an open like we had there, hey, why not take the opportunity to drop your margin? Especially some of the hedgies are so heavily leveraged. I mean, 100% leverage is like the norm, and here we talk about a max of 20% leverage. It's generally it's simple. It's just the weenie babies, the weenie babies. They get told, hey, you got to go out there. You got to go turn this multi-billion-dollar portfolio into a 7% return, and everyone's freaking out, going, "Oh, where am I going to figure that out?" Yeah. All right. So GameStop still trending down. We are down now almost 14%. It's a straight decline here. GameStop. Zom's fighting. Zom's fighting to keep relevant here in terms of not falling off too heavily here. It is down 4.8 to 5%. It bounces pretty frequently. We've got Nikola down 3%, $13. I have to say, Nikola 13. It's relatively cheap. Doesn't mean it's a good deal. Naked, Moderna's down 3% as well. Wayfair. Why would Wayfair and Etsy be down 2%? No idea. They just are. Like Gevo. Why is Gevo down 2%? Nobody knows. It's just all of a sudden it's gonna cover some margin. Hit the sell button a little bit. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, a whole lot more companies that are red now than what we had before. Yeah, definitely a shift here. Yeah, we've got Tesla's at $6.99. See, look at that. Red candlesticking on Tesla. Palantir up 3.5%, trying to green candlestick out now. Let's go back here and listen in for a moment. See what they think is going on.
Large Italian food restaurant that got through because a lot of the Italian mom and pops went under. Well, I could argue that they have scale.
I don't.
What? You don't know? You don't.
No, I mean, aren't they losing money still by being wide open? Until people really come back, isn't it sort of a money losing?
Well, yeah, but what happens when you're the
Cineworld
last...
stayed closed? I mean, Carmike's finally opening. Say again?
Well, no, I mean, look.
I'm gonna jump really quick. Let's jump to Fox to see if they've got anything. Remember, we do have Catalyst coming out in 19 minutes. At least a couple of reports. All right, go back.
I mean, that's incredible. When you go read the Darden conference call, they're talking about how much money they can spend versus everybody else. I mean, one of the things that's happened here is that the big got bigger. I don't know, Carl. I think that this is
true. It's true. But,
Darwinian.
Jim, when I think about final thought quickly on AMC, when I think about the big winner here, Carl, it's Silver Lake. I mean, they thought they had basically a zero on their hands, and they sold out at 12.
Right.
So
how about Wanda?
Right now, that's the only. And Wanda's the loser.
Yeah, Wanda's
biggest
the loser.
owner. Tried to get out before this all hit. They're a loser. So we'll see.
Yep, they're a loser.
They're not what they fascinating, guys. What a tale. Guys, every sector is green except for oil, and we got the VIX once again below 18. I think we're going to head to Bob Pisani. Morning, Bob.
Good. Low volatility.
Not a lot going on overseas. Europe, Hong Kong, Australia, China are essentially closed. But we have got a very powerful rally that's been going on really for the last 5 or 6 days. Growth has reasserted itself. We've got a new high in the S&P, new high in the transports, new high in the industrials, and many sectors of the S&P also at new highs. Just take a look at some of the ones that are moving. But REITs, new highs, communication services, industrials at a new high, materials at a new high, even financials. Bank stocks, not quite a new high, but financials as a sector have popped to a new high as well. We've also got an interesting mix of new highs in the S&P 500. There's a very small group of tech stocks like Alphabet and some of the chip names like Lam Research at new highs. Home Depot curiously continues to hit new highs. A lot of people talking about that over the weekend. But what is really noticeable is the old school industrials, your Textron, your Norfolk Southerns, Eaton. These are big global industrial names that are continuing to hit new highs every day. And of course, that's important. There's the great reflation trade that we've been talking about so much. Yeah. As for growth, ARC Holdings back again. We know about how difficult it was the last week and a half or so. But since then, most of Kathy Wood's big names have been back up there. Tesla's having a good day, of course, on new orders. But Zoom, Zillow, Spotify, Shopify, all have had a much better situation than they were 2 weeks ago. Some of these names were 20, 30, 40% off their old highs, but they've reasserted themselves, not in any dramatic way, but certainly well above where they were the last week and a half. In terms of the tailwinds, a lot of them that are out there right now. I think important just to know where we are in terms of the overall markets right now. U.S. is the vaccine leader, and that's just the most important thing in the world right now. We've got the great jobs report. And remember, the consumer confidence number was off the charts good last week as well.
That is true. We'll see how the manufacturers are being treated. All right, let's jump back to the sticks here just to see. So Norwegian still gaining here. The winner in terms of leading this rally here, 6.7%. Don't get me wrong, it's still, look, we'll still take the green here, but it's definitely a lot more red of an open than I think anybody really expected here. AMC bobbing around that 5.8 to 6%. Tesla's really bobbing around 696, 697, kind of trending down on the open here. So is Invitae, also trending down. We've got losers of Zom. Wow, Zom has actually now exceeded declines at GameStop. This is interesting. Not exactly sure what is going on at Zom. See if we could pull up some news related to this. But a little odd to see Zom sell off like this. Let's just take a quick peek here. So just a report about almost 3 hours ago about a lockup ending, but I don't think that would do it. Jeez. Wayfair, wow, Wayfair is now down 3.2%. Wayfair has just been that one of those consistent runners. At 326, I still think it's a little bit high, but yeah, out of nowhere, this 3.2% on Wayfair. Enphase, Gevo, and Etsy are all down about 2 to 2.5%. Not exactly sure why. Twitter, API, Zoom, all down about 1.5%. Snowflake, also over here in this group, along with Lemonade, Redfin, Upwork, Peloton, eBay. All these guys just slightly red, with the gains kind of tough to hold on to. Tesla's trying to get back to that 699, 700 figure, but all right, hold on. Did we just get news on this? Oh, no, not yet.
Top of the hour, we'll have what many consider the definitive ISM services coming out. But 60.4 replaces 60.0 on MARKIT.
Starting to see some of those releases come out here on data.
New high water mark post-COVID for this series of data points, and it equals or higher the 60 in the rearview mirror. Now, here's something interesting. As we go to the composite PMI, it moved from 59.1 mid-month to 59.7. That's important because 59.5 last month's final read was the high water mark. So once again, both of these are now post-COVID highs, and we're expecting a number right around 60 for ISM, national number coming out soon. Let's look at the chart, shall we? If you look at an intra of 10s that started right around 7 o'clock Eastern, I picked that because right at 8:20 Eastern, the futures open, you can clearly see that we saw some buying coming in once we moved into our time zone with regard to treasuries. A 1 week chart will reveal that on the 30th. Last week, we had our high close. You see it on the left there. That was Tuesday at 177. The next day, Wednesday, the 31st, we had our high close, which was 174. So I'm sorry, 177 intraday, high close 174. Why? Because Bob Pisani brought it up, and he's exactly right. Look at a 5-week chart of treasuries, 10-year, and you'll see yesterday, Friday, the close at 174 was the 7th close of 70 basis points or higher, which means we really have covered this, and we are sort of guns hot because we haven't retraced. We haven't seen a lot lower.
Yeah, this is some talk right now, is that we actually potentially think that bond yields maybe will come down. Maybe it's time for people to buy bonds again. Maybe we're going to see a stronger dollar attract more bonds, especially as the European Union suffers with more issues regarding COVID and a potential lockdown just announced. It sounded like in Germany. Just before the live stream, I saw an update about Germany potentially going back into lockdown. We've already had Paris back in lockdown. All of these things could motivate people to get into the American bond market. We shall see. Let's keep listening. All right, they are on music mode, so we'll go ahead and look at the sticks one more time. We'll continue to a bit here as we continue to get some more updates. CTRM is down 22.15%. GameStop's down about 8%. Discovery's down about 9.6%. Etsy and Chewy also now about 3% down. Not exactly sure why we would see Chewy down 3% here on the open, just other than, hey, we owe shares in your company and it's time for some selling. That's it. It's all we can really guess as to what we're seeing here. It doesn't seem to be an overall catalyst towards the downside. We do have this catalyst towards the upside of infrastructure, and that's exactly why we're seeing these charging companies run like crazy. Metkevin.com/chargers has been doing really well. We made that in the private course member live stream together. That's been doing very well. It looks like we really timed the bottom on that one. I will be obviously live in about 2 hours and 10 minutes in the course member live stream as well, and I'll get to answer your questions directly. It'll be super fun. I've got, by the way, 13 new lectures coming out, specifically some fun things I want to show you regarding options, with even more coming on options in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group. Anywho, what else do we have here? Voyager Digital is up 5.6%. I mean, this is just one of the gifts that keeps on giving here. This is a company that I've got a good chunk of funding in, and it's obviously a cryptocurrency play. We've got a lot of growth coming to the cryptocurrency space. I think the big thing for them is hiring the needed amounts of customer service. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Cannabis. Some cannabis stocks are actually up about 4%. We got Planet 13 up 14% from Vegas. We've got Tesla still struggling to get over that 700 figure. Obviously, doing great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's up over 5% in the day. 5% movement in Tesla is substantial. But yeah, definitely struggling to hold on to that 7 figure here. Pinterest is up 3% today. Spirit Airlines, Delta Airlines, these guys up about 3%. We're expecting airline travel to definitely rebound, but will it be profitable? We're already starting to see search interest for flights pick up decently, almost back to pre-pandemic levels, but still not quite there. NEO up 1.6%. GameStop trying to recover here. Yeah, GameStop's now on a green kind of recovery run here, and so is Zom. Both of these kind of green recovery runs, while at the same time we've got Etsy and Enphase leading maybe non-momentum declines along with Wayfair. Zom now only down at 4.7%. So a lot of attempted recovery here intraday against these the selling pressure that came out of the gate here, pushing prices down initially at least, and we're seeing that everywhere. We're seeing ChargePoint now move up more substantially. We're seeing Voyager Digital move up more substantially. Invitae's moving up more substantially. Here comes Upstart again. Out of nowhere, Upstart up again, 7.4%. Really incredible. Tesla's having more trouble. Yeah, Tesla's really stuck there at 700. Let's go listen into Fox just for a moment. What do we got over here?
Minority local businesses more than $100 million. And Senator Chuck Schumer said in a tweet, New York should host the All-Star Game. The irony in that is that New York election laws actually offer fewer early voting days than Georgia does now. Also, no one can pass out food or water valued more than $1 in New York. New York requires an excuse in a certain list for an absentee ballot. Georgia does not. Just that valid identification card, which is what you need when you buy alcohol or even get your COVID vaccine. Back to you.
All right, interesting, but thank you very much. We should also point out that Cobb County, which is where the game will be held, voted for Joe Biden, and now, of course, they're going to lose millions and millions of revenue by not hosting the All-Star Game. Well, we do know that Major League Baseball has come out against...
All right, let's go ahead and pop on over to, let's go to Bloomberg TV. Let's see what we've got at Bloomberg. A little bit of insights into the market from them. Okay, it would be helpful if the volume actually kicked on. Want to do that? Give me 1 second.
As people reassess reflation trade in the U.S. and what happens to the rest of the world. This is Bloomberg.
Yeah, go right on commercial. No problem. No problem at all. We will go over, look at the sticks. AMC and Voyager Digital. Wow, AMC also pushing with the others here now. AMC, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Invitae, Voyager Digital, Upstart, and Carnival all fighting for the lead of gains here today. Really impressive. But the rest of the market isn't sharing in solely that euphoria. We did have a sort of a little bit of a recovery here just in the last 10, I'd say 10 minutes on Zom and GameStop. Not as bad as we had seen, but definitely some of these 2 to 3% losses extending over here at other companies. Nordic Track, Peloton Canoe down again. We've got Zoom, Dave & Buster's. Here's Aurora Cannabis. So it's not all cannabis that's doing well today. Clover, golly, Clover this morning was up like 8%. Now it's negative. All those, and the bummer about pre-market is just like all of those pre-market gains that you thought you saw, poof, gone. Oh, let's listen in here. What's the news?
Issuing a Gonna spend $1 billion. Wow, it's a lot.
They always put the breaking news banner up, and then they're just like, "Oh yeah, Dow hit a record high." Okay, got it. Thank you, CNBC. Thank you for the breaking news banner. We are expecting more breaking news within the next 4 minutes. Although we did already receive one of the reports. Okay, let's see. Gosh, Upstart. That's got to be the next trader one. And we've been talking about this one for, I feel like, at least 10 days now. But it just, out of the last 10 days, I would say it's probably been green a good amount, 8 of those last 10 days. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right. Yeah, Tesla's really stuck at that 699 figure. Not sure how much we're going to be able to break out beyond this. Delta now 3.3%. American Airlines almost up 4%. Ooh, the airline's moving nicely. Yeah, GameStop back down 7.21% as we do have a couple of red candlesticks coming in. Jump back on over to CNBC here.
Here's doing the best. You'll want to buy that offering.
And then tonight, Jim, you mentioned Norwegian. You mentioned market access.
Yeah, market access. We are going to talk about this swap market. We got to shed a light on it. That it's actually crazy. We had this in 2008. It's happening again. And Frank Del Rio's coming out swinging. I mean, he's not taking it. He's saying, come on, it's time. We're going to vaccinate everybody. Give us a break. And I have to tell you, I mean, if you do vaccinate everybody, then how does someone give it to someone else? I mean, to me, that's the secret of how you can change the world. But so far, the CDC has a lot of crazy rules. Remember last year when people thought it was all surface and not aerosol? Well, anyway, I think that Frank's doing a breakthrough here. Let's see if he can prevail.
Leading the S&P at the moment, Jim, up 8%. We'll see you at 6.
Very good.
Mad Money with Jim Cramer, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're back in a moment.
Yeah, we'll see. The cruise ships, that's so far just consistently getting pretty tough regulation from the CDC on when we might be able to see these cruise ships come back. But it's not stopping the cruise ship stocks from running. Tesla red candlesticking again here. Take a look at this. Now only up, only up 5%. Oh, don't get me wrong. Okay, 5% still great, especially for Tesla. But really struggling here, just really pushing down consistently on this open here. If we zoom out a little bit, just to get a little bit of a broader view, it's really just been an ugly morning. It's essentially been straight down on Tesla here. Voyager now flattening after being up about 7%. AMC is up about 7.3%. Such a flip from the pre-market. But CTRM still down almost 20%. It's an improvement from before, but still painful. See, those share offerings have this disproportionate impact. All right, GameStop 7.7, 7.8%. One of the reasons, by the way, I think they got rid of the chief financial officer is because the last time GameStop ran to 400, they didn't quickly raise a bunch of money, which they seem to be doing now, which would be the smart thing to do, especially if you're going to reinvigorate the company's prospects and the way the company does business. You need money to do that. You don't change thousands of store locations with no money. You need money for posters, GameStop posters. No, obviously, retraining, redoing the merchandising shelves. Gosh, if they could do more interactive or more maybe gaming competition friendly versus all these shelves that we have. Well, we'll see. A lot of work to do for GameStop. Fingers crossed for it. Remember, I used to want to work for GameStop as just somebody who would check out games and things like that. I just thought that would be the coolest job ever. It's like, oh, I get to play with video games at work, and then I get to play with video games IRL when I'm off work. I don't know. Maybe that would have gotten overwhelming. But anyway, look at some of these continued declines here. This is so odd. You've got Enphase down 4%. Why? Just out of nowhere, some of these energy stocks are just getting decimated on the open here. And this has now been continuing for the last 30 minutes. We got Enphase down 3.8% with Redfin, Etsy, not necessarily the energy stocks here, but also down 3.5% to 4%. Gevo down 3.2%. Fuel cells down. Moderna's down. Very, very odd. And again, from having this open of everything being green to now seeing Ubiquity fall another 2%, just sort of leaking the little 1%, 2%, 1%, 2% after that big fall there, which did buy the dip a little bit on that big fall. Seeing that fall continuing a little bit here. Oh, yeah, here's the news we were waiting for. Let's see.
Pretty much goes nowhere.
So our read on ISM, Institute for Supply Management Services Index for March, expecting a number around 59.
Nice. Wow.
63.7.
That's really good.
0.7. I have a database that goes back 43 years to 1980. The highest on there is 1997 at 62.0. So this blows that away. Really good number. Now let's look at factory orders for February. We're expecting down 0.5. It ends up down 0.8. In the rearview mirror, slight revision to January's from 2.6 to 2.7. If we look at X transportation, it's down 0.6, about half as negative as we were expecting. In the rearview mirror, up 1.8. So there definitely is some give back here, and primarily because the numbers for January were really quite powerful. Now, if we look at durable goods orders, we take the mid-month reads and toss them. So our Feb final now becomes minus 1.2 versus minus 1.1, minus 0.9 X transportation, which is equal to our mid-month read. And if we look at capital goods orders, non-defense X air, a proxy for business spending, it moves from 0.8 negative to minus 0.9 is our final read. And on orders, minus 1.1 versus the mid-month read, which was minus 1%. So, of course, all of these numbers are minus signs, and primarily because they were strong with respect to January numbers. However, when we do look at that proxy for business spending, it really is awfully weak. As a matter of fact, we had January, which was up 0.6. And then if
we're going to go ahead and pause here. I mean, obviously, the factory orders coming in here at down 0.8% versus the expectation of being up tiny little fraction here. Kind of not a surprise that we would get one of these numbers coming in worse. We didn't get the double whammy of positive catalyst, which would have been nice. We didn't get it. We got one pause, one neg, one actually at all-time records, which is incredible. But for monthly data in manufacturing, but geez, I'll tell you, this is just the slow bleed market today. Look at this, Tesla down, Tesla's up 4.75%, but slow bleeding, and this is that kind of crap we saw on Friday too. It was just slow bleeding. I remember, not Friday, Thursday. I remember during the course member live stream, we were thinking the same thing, just bizarre as we were working on plays. GameStop, 8.13% down. Zoms down 6%. Enphase, Gevo, Etsy, Redfin, these guys are all approaching that 4% number, but a lot of red. All of a sudden, we went from like, I would say 90%, probably more like 95% green to more like 30% red and maybe 70% green, maybe. So, yeah, Tesla at 692 here, continuing that downward trajectory. ChargePoint is doing decently, holding up at 5.8%. Voyager Digital up a bit. Upstart just gave up a little bit as well. AMC, almost 7% on AMC. Talk about maybe an epic short squeeze at GameStop in the future, but hey, who knows? Those things are talk right now. We don't know if that's reality. All right, GameStop. Yeah, GameStop, geez. Down 8%. Lemonade, 3%. Why all of this red? I have no idea. Could create a buying opportunity, though. Lemonade, though, probably would have to get a little, again, probably towards 80 for me to be more interested in Lemonade. Under 100, I suppose, is okay, but I'd honestly rather buy Enphase at 156. I'd rather buy Canoe at 871. Incredibly oversold. We'll have to wait for some new positive catalyst, though, for those to pop. Jeez. Palantir. Palantir's doing decently, up over 4.5%, and it is at $24 per share. Roblox up 4%. Wins up 3.6%. Facebook Tattooed Chef. Yeah, all right. Well, what went from being a very green market has now turned into a very sort of mixed market. Let's go pull for a moment the Bloomberg TV here. Let's see what they've got.
What happens after that? We get the short-term burst of inflation. Right now, the 10-year forward is lower. So the market is saying we're going to have some inflation and it's going to go away. Now, if we see the longer-dated ones going up, then the market gets concerned about inflation sticking around, and then the Fed is going to have to respond to that.
Okay, so Art, what do you do? How do you position then to capture the rally, but then also know that we're going to see higher pricing pressures?
Yeah, I think that's the most important point. And I think first and foremost, the most important thing to do is to have a balanced, diversified portfolio. And as we saw last week and over the course of the last couple of weeks, while this rotation into the economically sensitives has been very powerful so far this year, that expressed itself in the Russell 2000, certainly the industrials, the materials, energy, and financials, also know that technology is not going away. So if you had a barbell approach and you had short duration technology growth companies, not something that's trading on a revenue of a multiple of revenues, but trading on a multiple of earnings on one side of that barbell, and continue to hold economically sensitive cyclicals, rebalance that every 2 months. I think that's going to be your best.
Let's go ahead and pause for a moment on this, and I want to look at some of the volume here for some of the stocks that we're seeing. Let's see here. Let's start with GameStop, because GameStop's down about 747 right now. Let's just go, let's zoom out here. Go the last trading day. So we opened up on GameStop with 1.6 mil in volume. Volume sort of declined to, I would say, roughly an average of about 100,000. But now here in the later minutes, probably closer to 60 or 70,000. So we've definitely got a decline on volume throughout this morning open here. If we go back to the last market open that we had, Thursday, we are at, let's see here, volume of 225. Yeah, I mean, actually substantially more volume. That we have today than what we had on Thursday. I mean, we barely had a big opening push. We had 225,000 versus 1.6 million. And then it looks like we're averaging like 40,000, which is really half of where we stand now. Actually, probably 25,000 was the average. So in terms of volume, so GameStop, definitely having a lot more volume today, but I don't know how much that's helping it right now. It's down 8.14%. So Etsy still not looking cheap at these prices, but also down a good chunk. See what else might be looking cheap here. If we go to all stocks, look, Tesla under 700 is still an opportunity, in my opinion. The Chargers probably still have a little bit of room left in them. A lot of that has been squeezed out already. Bitcoin's holding steady at that 58 figure. Blink, maybe. Gosh, let's see here. Pinterest is almost $80. Pinterest doing very well. Yeah, how bizarre though. I think Canoe is dirt cheap. I think that one's very oversold. Upwork is starting to get to that point where if we keep seeing these sell-offs at Upwork, that might be an interesting one to look at as finally opening a larger position in on. Ubiquity, same thing. Peloton, same thing. Gosh. Huh. Yeah, geez. Okay. Very, very bizarro market. That's, I think, the way to put the last two trading days. Just bizarro. Really faking out here. I mean, what is this? Why would EXPI be down 6.4% and Enphase down 4%? Why? Makes no sense. Redfin. Why would Redfin be down 4%? Weenie babies. That's it. It's literally just the crazy weenie babies that are doing either their weird lever pulls here of diversifying risk or manipulating the market. I don't know. Honestly, at this point, both when it comes to the suits, looking pretty similar. So, okay, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let's catch up again in the private live stream in an hour and 50 minutes. Check out that coupon code linked in the description down below. Most importantly, I will be publishing about 13 new lectures before that live stream, so I'm excited about that. Some super fun things, especially on options. We got some fun things as well. But yeah, folks, I'm hoping that some of this red here Oh, geez, because Enphase just went down another little chunk here. It's down at 4.5% now. If that keeps falling, that's going to end up being a buying opportunity. Obviously, if I end up buying anything today, which I might do, I will be announcing that to all course members in the Stocks and Psychology of Money group. But definitely got some of these spark trends heading down, so we'll have to keep an eye on this. Could be a buying opportunity, but honestly, we've had buying opportunities for 6 months. It's time for some tendies, not more buying opportunities. Anywho, thank you so much for being here, folks. We'll see you later with some more updates.